Hey everybody, Kyle Goethe here from GoatFilmReviews.com and the Goat Film Reviews YouTube channel, and I've got my spoiler thoughts on the first episode of The Acolyte. Truth be told, I was able to watch the first 4 episodes before the show dropped, but I've only seen the first one as of this recording. So we're just going to talk about what happened in the first episode, my general thoughts on the start of the show, and where things go from there. So this first episode does a lot of the heavy building of what's going on in the world, which makes sense. I mean, that's how these shows usually are. And this is the largest departure time-wise from what we've had in established television series or movies for Star Wars. It says at the beginning of the show, it's 100 years before the rise of the Empire, so we're led to believe it's at least 80-something years before, Phantom Menace. With all that being said, I think the show does a really great job of establishing where we are at in the world of Star Wars at this point. We establish a lot of characters very quickly. We get our first view of Amanda Stenberg, who plays our lead Osha. But then we also get this captivating mystery around her character, is she responsible for the murder of this Jedi or not? Is she, or is it her, or is it a twin? This established mystery that's going on here is very exciting, and I hope we get to learn more about it as we go. It seems like we have a finite answer at the end of this episode, but I'm not so convinced. Let me know in the comment section if you think there's more to this mystery than what we're seeing, or if we kind of have our answer already. We also get our introduction to Daphne Keane, who plays Jackie Lawn. She is... you'll remember as X-23 from Logan. She has a very quick appearance here. This episode is mostly about Amanda Stenberg's character and Lee Jung-jae, I think it is, Saul, the Jedi Master, who's basically, training Padawans. When he learns about this, he was a former Master to Osha, and so I think their relationship's really nice. I think getting that introduction of them and kind of where they've been to. Also her relationship to Indara, played by Carrie-Anne Moss, which, the show opens with this action scene that is very, very captivating and very interesting, but I was also questioning, this can't be the right time period for this, because, I don't know, it just felt to me like, I know Star Wars has a history of having these great big actors and stuff showing up in smaller roles on the show. I just feel like we're going to see more of Carrie-Anne Moss than we got in this one episode, because it feels like her story is kind of at a close at the end of the episode. But I feel like we're going to get more of that, right? You don't get Carrie-Anne Moss for a couple of scenes. You get Carrie-Anne Moss for a couple of episodes at the very least. So I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but I have to assume we'll be seeing more of her in flashback form, or kind of touching on what is going on with her, because it just seems to me like we didn't get a lot. Yeah, but the episode moves quick. It's 41 minutes, but I felt like it moved at a straight enough clip. It didn't need more exposition going on. But I was invested the entire time. I was very entertained. I like the expansion of the Star Wars universe, particularly in the prequels, which get a lot of flack. But I think setting the show 80 years before even the first movie, before The Phantom Menace, gives us the ability to stand aside from the Skywalker stuff, stand aside from the traditional stories we've been told, and tell new stories in this world with characters that haven't really been established. I know there are probably characters that I'm not aware of, because I am a Star Wars fan, but I don't get as deep into the mythology as I probably would like to if I had the time. But, you have to know Yoda would be around during this time. There would probably be a few other characters we'd be aware of, but the way in which this show embraces the prequels, the ships that we haven't seen before, the new ships feel like they would have been made during the prequels time period, or even kind of a bit of removed from that. We get to see Coruscant again, and we get to see, familiar places, familiar environments, familiar species. I don't remember seeing Nemoidians in anything outside of the prequel. So it was cool to see Nemoidians show up and see kind of a different take on those kinds of characters as well. So overall, I thought the expansion of the world was interesting. The new story was interesting. I'm captivated. At the end of this first episode, I don't have enough information to know what's really going on, but I want to find out what's happening next, which is the great job that you have when you have a first episode. I believe on drop day, they're going to drop the first and second. So I'm going to go check out the second episode right now, because that stinger at the end of the first episode was really, really good. I'm enticed to see what planet were they on. I had the feeling it kind of looked like the Porg planet from The Last Jedi, but I don't know for certain. So I'm going to have to go check it out right now. I'm going to go watch episode 2 and then come back and record another reaction to that one. So let me know your thoughts on the first episode of The Acolyte down below. I highly recommend the first episode of this show. It definitely seems worth watching to me. I'm a big fan of Leslie Headland's writing for things like Russian Doll and other series that she's worked on. So I'm very excited to see what she comes up with, because she has an ability to twist upon a twist upon a twist and keep unraveling mystery layers. And I feel like that's where we're going with this mystery of May and Osha. So let me know your thoughts down in the comment section, what you thought about the show, and if you plan on tuning in for episode 2 of The Acolyte. And you can join me over here and check out my thoughts as well. You can also find my many written reviews, including a non-spoiler review of the first 4 episodes of The Acolyte, over on goatfilmreviews.com. You can also find Goat Film Reviews on Facebook. You can follow me personally at Almighty Goatman on Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd, and Threads. And you can check out my show, Kyle and Nick on Film, that I co-host with Nick Plotachuk from the St. Paul Filmcast. We have new episodes of that show every single week. I'm also a member of the Minnesota Film Critics Alliance. There's a link in the description for this video where you can find other critics' reviews as well as my own. Thank you so much for joining me. May the Force be with you. We'll see you next time.